I'm Yvonne with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The United States is set to tighten restrictions on exports of chips and AI-related technology to stay ahead of the competition. This follows the Biden administration's continued efforts to limit China's access to advanced chips. Joyce Zhen reports.
With just days until U.S. President Joe Biden leaves office, Washington has come out with new restrictions on its most advanced technology, this time focused on artificial intelligence chips. Throughout his presidency, Biden has imposed rule after rule to thwart China's access to cutting-edge chips and maintain U.S. tech dominance. This latest move goes a step further, putting countries into three groups, slapping a complete export block of advanced GPUs, the specialized processor AI needs, to these countries, including China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. On the other end of the spectrum are 18 of the U.S.'s closest allies and partners, which includes Taiwan, with unlimited access to its AI technology. The countries left, essentially the rest of the world, will have caps on how many AI chips it can have, with potential licenses for firms who follow Washington rules.
I mean, certainly it does seem like they're trying to get something out as sort of a last win for their administration. But there's, I think, almost a sense within industry and even governments that the United States just simply keeps asking and asking and asking other governments, other companies to play ball with the United States government without any actual sort of give back.
Those in the business of AI chips have been criticizing the plan, including California-based AI powerhouse NVIDIA. The firm's Taiwan-born CEO, Jensen Huang, just recently unveiled a GPU that's twice as powerful as its previous model.
Here it is.
The company says the latest controls are misguided and threatens to squander the U.S.'s tech advantage. Other firms like Microsoft and ChatGPT owner OpenAI had more muted responses. Microsoft saying it was confident it could comply with the high security standards.
Your NVIDIAs and your Oracles got caught offside or blindsided by this, but I think Microsoft in many ways had been sort of underwriting what a potential playbook or pilot for this could look like. Well, Microsoft had been negotiating this G42 deal with the UAE government for months. In fact, I think in many ways that served as the pilot for how we think about exporting chips to all these other bands of countries.
For Taiwan, though the new rules won't apply, its firms like TSMC will still need to be vigilant, wary of where its restricted advanced tech may end up. The chip-making giant has already cut ties with a Singapore-based client after a TSMC chip was found in a phone by Huawei, the Chinese telecoms giant blacklisted by Washington since 2019. A potential wildcard is incoming President Donald Trump, whose administration will have to enforce the rules. But with his own tough approach on China, high-tech controls may just be a point of continuity in this transition of power. Chris Ma and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
Chinese social media platform Xiaohongshu has become the most downloaded app in the U.S. App Store amid an impending ban on TikTok. The app, also known as Red Note in the United States, is one of two Chinese apps that American content creators are now turning to. Xiaohongshu is often described as a Chinese version of Instagram and Pinterest. The mass migration comes as TikTok influencers worry they will lose access to the app after January 19th, when the Chinese parent company ByteDance is required to sell off its U.S. assets or face a shutdown. The Supreme Court is currently weighing whether to uphold the law. 15 years ago, a devastating typhoon swept away the tracks of Taiwan's iconic Alishan Forest Railway. Now this century-old treasure is back on track and more captivating than ever. Today, in the latest episode of Where's the Chiayi County Ship Taking Us?, Andrew Ryan encounters an unusual passenger and samples a train lunch fit for a lumberjack.
The ultimate mode of slow travel, a century-old Taiwanese train route known as one of the most beautiful high mountain railways in the world. This is the Alishan Forest Railway. Built during the Japanese occupation of Taiwan to transport lumber down from the mountains. It entered service in 1912. But after they put an end to logging in 1963, the railway became a popular tourist attraction.
这个铁道也是有它的特色，就是独一无二的一个建起来的这个方式，对不对？
因为它要爬过高山，然后慢慢的往上一直爬，所以它要绕山，整个绕，然后从这座山要爬到那座山，所以它有一种叫做之字形的爬法。
The unique way the railway was built is a huge draw for train nerds like me. There are spiral-shaped tracks and curved alignments that hug the mountains, in addition to the zigzagging switchbacks. Together, these help the train climb 2,400 meters over a 78-kilometer journey. The railway is not only one of Taiwan's most renowned cultural landmarks, it's also the highest narrow-gauge train route in all of Asia. But the high altitude also makes the railway vulnerable to the elements. In 2009, Typhoon Morakot brought the worst flooding in 50 years, washing out sections of the track. The only way to get to the top was by bus. After 15 years of repairs, they've finally restored service to the entire line, with some new options for train buffs.
那现在有2台非常好的这个高山火车，一台叫做福生号，它是完全快木打造的。哦。 一台叫做许业号，它是用这个阿里山的迎宾鸟，那当做它彩绘的设计，2个小火车都非常有特色。
One of the first new trains bringing travelers to the top had a very unusual passenger on board.
This is incredible. This is the first time that I've ever seen anything like this, and they tell me it's the first time they've ever done this. Basically, it's the goddess Matu, who is one of the most popular goddesses in all of Taiwan, the goddess of the sea. She's come down from Chiayi city, and she's come up to the top of this most popular tourist destination of all of Taiwan, bringing blessings and good wishes for all the people along the way. I've never seen a goddess take a train before. I guess she has to fit into a seat as well.
One of the biggest draws for visitors to this train station, Fenqihu, is the bento box lunches called biandang in Taiwan. In the old days, the early morning train from Chiayi City would arrive here by midday. Lumberjacks and tourists would hop off and grab lunch while workers changed the engines on the train. At its peak, this diner sold thousands of biandang every day. Now, the 4th-generation owner has given each biandang a special name.
我们家族就是跟这个阿里山铁道是唇齿相依的，就跟这一些文化、人事物都有很深厚的感情，所以我们不想让这一些记忆流失掉，所以我们就把我们的便当都取名这一些铁道员的名字。 为这个铁路贡献奉献的人。
One of the most popular offerings is called the engine driver. It contains chicken, rice, several fresh local veggies, and plums pickled with tea grown right here in these mountains.
所以我们这边的便当有芬多精的味道，有铁道的味道，所以非常好吃。
These days, you can buy Fenqihu boxed lunches at convenience stores all across Taiwan. But that doesn't stop people from making tracks back up the mountain for the taste of days gone by. Devin Tsai, Joseph Wu, Peachy Drong, and Andrew Ryan for TaiwanPlus. Coming up in part 3 of our series, we find out what the people of Alishan call green gold. Here's a hint, it's a condiment that packs a punch.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, we take you to the streets of Paris for a vintage card gathering. I'm Yvonne. Take care, and I'll see you next time.